Alright, so today is the 4th of July. I've got my Troy Belt horse here that I was cultivating with. Not very good. You can see the big gaps in between the tines because, well, this thing's like 30 years old and they're pretty much wore the heck out. I got rained out, so I got half of it cultivated and half of it's not. Really, now the center was taller before it was cultivated, but a couple other guys did videos on like the difference between cultivation and not, and I think it does help. I mean, if nothing else, it keeps the weeds down, but ew, yeah, there's a lot of weeds in here. But yeah, knee high by the 4th of July, I'd say I've got it by 70%. We'll take a walk. This one, maybe. Those, no. This one, definitely. It's up above my waistline. They're all doing pretty good. What came up, anyways, and we'll go over that here in a minute. So what I'm walking through here, yeah, and I had a plugged drop tube on the planter. Which this is the first time I ever ran it. So International 455 planter. I thought it was a 56, but it's not. I didn't discover that until setting it up. So yeah, we had a row not put anything out for a minute, and I realized it, and I thought I remember backing up and coming back over top of this and replanting, but I don't know if the seed plate wasn't full or what. But see, obviously shady end, everything's shorter. Shorter closer to the woods because of the shade. Shorter on that side probably because of the shade. I see some yellow over there. Might go look at that. Not really sure why that is. I fertilized this with, might have been like Scott's or something. All I ever do for the sweet corn is nothing extreme. I got a little push spreader, you know, you push around your yard. And I get lawn fertilizer. Something with a lot of nitrogen. I think this was like 3205. And then we also spread all the extra soybean fertilizer, which wasn't a whole lot, but it was more than enough for this, which is probably why the broadleafs are growing crazy. Yeah, we've got some deer like tromping around in here. I chased a few off. Chased one off the other night. I came out because we heard something in the chickens. And it was huge and not scared of me. I didn't have a flashlight big enough to see whether it was a buck or what, but it wouldn't have antlers right now anyways. But yeah, you can see the difference between cultivated and not. And it's still, we've got some showers. My boot's coming up pretty dry. It's got some beads of water on it. And the problem is if you cultivate with a rototiller when there's water on it, it'll just wrap the weeds around the tines. Yeah, this yellow spot I'm not very happy about. I don't really know why it's doing that. It's the only spot in the whole garden. I guess there's a little bit over there, but not like this. Yeah, despicable corn stand this year, I'm not going to lie. So anyways, what we're looking at here, try not to just ramble on about nonsense. All of this is 75-day ambrosia. Half the garden is that. All of the stuff on the side that is definitely shorter, I mean even than these short ones, that's Silver Queen. Silver Queen's like a 90-day corn. It's kind of slow, but once it jump starts, it will grow really tall. And I've never grown the ambrosia before, so I don't know what it's going to do. It's a 75-day corn. You know, I really don't know why these are so yellow. Hopefully the camera's picking up the difference between it and the weeds. Oh yeah, it is definitely there, at least on the screen. It's my cell phone. But then I wanted to talk about the difference between treated and unseeded seed. Well, those little guys right there, that's untreated. I don't even know if my camera's going to focus. Yeah, you can see it. It's untreated seed. Super disappointed. This whole patch here was also ambrosia, but we got it from like an Orchland or someplace like that. Not treated. Treated. Not treated. I know ground conditions were not the best, but dang, really? Like, we planted all of this, and that's about all that came up. There are a few, sparsely. We'll see if we can find any more. I really need to just till all this just to kill whatever's here. Anyways, I'm not, well, here's a couple. You know, and these ones here are short enough, they probably are getting drowned out by the weeds. Maybe I'll try to do something with that. But I was just so disappointed, and I think I said in one of my other videos about this sweet corn, that last year my wife planted one like little packet of sweet corn she got from a store, somebody gave her or something like that, and it grew fine, but it was so much shorter and took so much longer to produce, and it was untreated. It was just your regular consumer corn, untreated. And yeah, there's rows, but they're just despicable. For the longest time I couldn't even find them. And especially when conditions are not ideal, this is what untreated seed will get you. You know, this ground's fertilized. I actually had it soil tested and everything, because I wanted this entire area to be full of sweet corn, and that's going to be one of my wife's cash crops. You know, she was supposed to have enough to you know, set up a stand and sell, and well, this is what we're left with. And like I said, granted, it's been so wet it's not even funny, but it's not that wet. I mean, it's not like there was standing water here, and there's just nothing. Like, I'm standing where it should have been planted. We planted it. We put 3 1-pound bags in the back of the planter, and I pulled like a little over a pound back out when we were done. So it's not like the seeds did not get in. They had a 95% germination rate. Like I said, I got them at Orchland or something like that. That's like a Rural King or a really beefed up Tractor Supply. If you guys don't know what an Orchland is, because they're not everywhere. They're just now in our area. And yeah, this is what we're left with. We've got a bunch of grass and broadleaves, a few little tiny plants, and that's it. You know, and really, I'm wanting to say possibly that these yellow ones here are, no, that's the ambrosia. If I counted the rows, I'd be able to tell, because I think we had one row that was, I ran out of seed, and that was either right there or right there. I'm wanting to say it was right there, because when I planted the corn again, I basically came real close to these, and then I cut back over, and to make this row continue and not have a dud row, because the idea is anything that are small ears or anything like that, Bandit Farmer has a 2-row narrow Minneapolis Moline picker, and I wanted to run that through here and get all of the corn that you know, wasn't good enough to sell, or anything that we don't pick or whatever, because we grind whole ear corn to feed the chickens. There's another little straggler. Poor guy. And at this rate, I don't even know if we'll have enough to be worth fooling with the picker. You've seen, if you know who Bame Farms is and Bandit Farmer, it's Bandit's yellow Moline. But Jacob has some videos, Jacob Bame has some videos about where he's used it, because he has wide row pickers, and that's a narrow picker, and we have a narrow planter, so you'd have to have a narrow row picker, a 30-inch row picker. So that was kind of the idea, was to have this an entire big beautiful stand of sweet corn, and pick what we don't sell or can or eat for the chickens. Because one truck bed, like in that tan truck over there, one bed load of that will last us like a half of a year ground whole corn. I've never done it with sweet corn, but I thought, well, why waste a byproduct, you know? So yeah, knee high by the 4th of July. I'd say we got it by 70%. And what's growing now over there, I'm not counting that in. Anyways, I guess I've been rambling on for like 10.5 minutes now. There's one of my dogs rooting around. If you watched to the end, I appreciate it. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you got any tips for using an International 455 planter or growing sweet corn, or harvesting it with a picker or anything like that, put those in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more. And happy Independence Day, guys. Thanks for watching.